What's going on, Pokemon fam, YouTube fam? Hope you're all having a good night tonight. It's Gen Pulse. So in today's video, guys, I just wanted to just go ahead and just talk a little bit about investments and just kind of, a thing that I've been keeping track the past week, and just kind of just bring to you guys' attention and just kind of just talk about it because I think I rarely make investment videos, but when I do, I definitely talk about the things I'm really interested in and the things that kind of, intrigue me a little bit, you know? So let's talk about Silver Tempest really quick. So no one's really talking about Silver Tempest right now. And in my opinion, Silver Tempest, I don't know what your guys' top five for, I would say, for your Sword and Shield um, sets, right? Obviously, you're going to have your top five. I'm going to have my top five. But I will definitely put Silver Tempest in my top five, in my opinion. And right now, with the market, right now with Silver Tempest, I know they came out with a massive reprint. I remember they announced the massive reprint back in, I think, the summertime. They were going to do a massive reprint of Silver Tempest and Lost Origin, right? So Lost Origin has definitely dipped from like 175 to 130. Right now it's at 130 right now market price. And then I know Silver Tempest dropped from 145, 146 to like now it's at 111 right now. So that to me, that's like a 25% dip, I would say. Let me go ahead and lower my screen really quick for you guys because I just wanted to show you guys what I'm looking at right now on TCG Player. This is where I get most of my my data from with like sets and cards, and obviously I think that's where most people get it. But you have TCG Republic, you have Card Market. There's a lot of different places you can get like different market uh, I guess, data and stuff, but TCG Player seems to be the one that most people use. But anyways, so right now market price is at $111, and to me, for a set like this, I don't know if you guys have ever open Silver Tempest, but Silver Tempest is a very good set in my opinion. You have the Lugia and everything like that, and I know the chase card in that is going to be the alternate art Lugia, which the alternate art Lugia is actually down in price right now. I'll get to that in a second. But from where this was at a year ago, let's look at the year. Keep in mind, Silver Tempest is actually only a year old. It came out right around this time last year, guys, in 2022. Like right now, from November 28th to December 4th last year. So here, let me lower my screen a little bit. So right here is when it started peaking right around, I would say here, which was the summer. They announced the reprints. And then ever since they announced the reprints, it's fallen down about 23%, 25%. So right now it's at this spot right now today at 11 or $111, which I think, in my opinion, for a set like this is going to be a steal. Obviously, with Pokemon investments, every set does not appreciate the same. I think Silver Tempest was one of the stronger sets in Sword and Shield, and it was one of my favorites. I actually opened up a booster box last year, and it was definitely fun to open and everything. So let me go ahead and get to the cards really quick, like the actual content of the cards. We want to look at the top five cards, I would say. Here we go. So the Lugia alternate art. So right now, Lugia alternate art's in at $129. Uh, let's go back a year of like, so pretty much at the all-time high. This card's right around 213, which, do I think it can go back up to that price point? I don't know. Cards are a little bit harder to predict, I would say, because the volatility of the cards and everything like that, especially like, these type of sought after cards. We just have to wait and see over a long period of time of if we can ever go back to this all-time high. That's the thing you got to look at, in my opinion, too, when you're looking at Pokemon investments, is that like the top end cards that are like the best cards in the set, and when they do dip in price, and this one has dipped quite a bit, I would say, what, 50% almost, I would say, like pretty much almost 50%. I would say like 45%. I'm just doing some estimates in my head right now, just off the top of my head, but you know, you always have to ask the question: can it go back to its all-time high? Like, can you buy at this point right now? Hold on to it for like years, right? Let's say like 2 to 3, 4 years. Can it go back up to that point? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Like I said, the cards are more volatile than like actual sets. That's why sets are a lot easier to predict, I would say, price predict than cards. That's just my honest opinion. I would say. But right now, this Lugia, this alternate Lugia alternate art is in very like in a nice, perfect, cheap price right now at 129. That's very cheap, I would say, for this card. There definitely is 77 listings, so there's a lot. There's plenty of to go around for this card. So you can definitely snatch this card, I would say, and just hold on to it if you want to get it graded. That's up to you. But let's look at the other cards. Now, the other cards, in my opinion, definitely took a pretty massive dip, I would say. Um, Specifically, I would say Lugia V-Star definitely took a dip from like $35, I think, last year to now it's at $21, 21.99. Uh, and let's see. I would say the Serena. Let's look at this really quick. This is a very good card, like a very, very beautiful trainer card. This was actually one of my favorite trainer cards. Yeah, so this card dropped from $29, $29 to all the way down to 19. So definitely like a pretty, healthy dip, I would say. Um, so overall, I would just say though, even though the cards have dipped massively, because I know everyone's talking about how steady the cards are in like a lot of the sets, I would say, in the new Scarlet and Violet sets. Um, Maybe not Obsidian Flames. I know the cards, the values are not holding up in the Obsidian. I know Paldea Evolved is holding pretty strong right now. Scarlet and Violet base set has tanked completely with the cards. Um, and then I would say 151 has been holding strong this entire time. 151. Paradox Rift haven't really analyzed and looked at Paradox Rift, but for the most part, I would say 151 and Paldea Evolved have held the values pretty well at this point. I know that's a talking point right now, and even though that's all good and dandy that those price points stay at a minimum, not minimum, but I would say at a price where it's like maintaining for a long period of time, at some point they're going to drop in price. Whether Pokemon comes out with reprints of 151 in the future, for example, like 151. I know that's the hot set right now. It's probably the set of the year in my opinion, for 2023. But with you know, uh, what you call it, but they can always come out with reprints with 151 that can definitely tank the price. That's what we're seeing with like Lost Origin and Silver Tempest and stuff like that. And at some point, in my opinion, most all these sets will drop, and we're seeing that in Silver Tempest right now. And I think Silver Tempest is a great set right now to, if you are a Pokemon investor, I don't know why anyone's not talking about Silver Tempest. I haven't seen a video yet about Silver Tempest. A lot of these investment videos that I appreciate a lot, none of them have really brought up Silver Tempest. I don't know if people have just not paid attention to Silver Tempest or just don't care about Silver Tempest, but Silver Tempest is a top 5 Sword and Shield set in my opinion. So, the fact that it's this cheap right now, $110, I don't see it going below that right now. I think it's bottomed out in my opinion. Whether it goes down to 105 doesn't really make a whole bunch of difference. 105, 110, plus that with tax, it's gonna be like 120, right? That's a great price for this great product in my opinion. I think it's a great product. It's just like the contents in this. Like I like the Lugia arts in here. I like the um whatchamacallit. This forest, I sold a few of these recently, and these cards went up in price quite heavily. Um, I know the trainer gallery is really good in this in the Silver Tempest whatchamacallit Silver Tempest trainer gallery. Let me take a look at it really quick. Um, but I think like I said, like oh the Rayquaza VMAX, dude. Like it's like come on man, that's a great trainer card. Um, that's a great trainer card. Look, I have Judge too. Judge is also a card that's in my inventory right now. Um, yeah, man, it's just like there's a lot of good cards in this set, man. And the fact that nobody's talking about it is just like, come on, dude. Like this is a steal in my opinion. 110 plus tax probably like 120. So, like I said, great price point. Buying the dip, as they would all say. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and just end it here and tie it into my last final point and end it here because it's a very short video tonight. The thing is, guys, is that I think right now, I think it just in my opinion. This is just my opinion. This is not financial advice, by the way, at all. I am just some Pokemon seller on the internet just talking about Pokemon. I'm not an expert about financial investments, so this is not financial advice, okay? But this is just my opinion, right? So My opinion is that right now we are at the tail end of a bear market right now as far as a whole. You see a lot of, the stock market's going up right now. It's bouncing back. It's not in the bull run, I would say, but the stock market's definitely creeping up in price. I think the S&P 500 is up like 10% right now for the past month. I would say, which is a very good, solid, healthy. That's a very healthy, extremely, extremely, extremely healthy. Um, Stocks are up right now. Crypto is pumping right now. Um, you know, I would say right now the collectible world is starting to see a bounce, I would say, from what we're at, compared to 2022. I think 2022 was very, very, very rough for the collectible world. Um, Not for Pokemon, but right now we're experiencing the Pokemon bear market right now for this year in 2023, more than we did last year in 2022, in my opinion. So I think we're going to see a bounce back in a lot of these prices and stuff. Once we are out of this bear market, once interest rates start coming down in the next, I don't know how long. Who knows? We can't predict how long they're going to keep interest rates elevated. We don't know how long the Fed's going to keep it elevated, but what I do know is that it's not going to stay elevated forever. It can't. Like they have to at least hold it down, hold the interest rates, maintain the high interest rates for another year. I would say the most, I would say. Sorry guys, my phone's going off. But once the interest rates come down overall as a nation nationally, and then as money becomes cheaper to take on debt, once it's cheaper to take on debt, I think these prices are just going to skyrocket. You know what I'm saying? These prices on Silver Tempest are going to skyrocket. Evolving Skies is going to skyrocket. And like the thing about Pokemon investments, guys, is that like I said in the beginning, every single set does not appreciate the same, and there's two factors to that: reprints and the public opinion on that set. Okay? Public opinion's more long term because if the public opinion didn't like the set in the beginning, it's probably not going to really appreciate that well. And then once you have a bunch of reprints, you know, on top of that set, sure, it's going to decrease the price on the market price by like 20%, maybe 20, 35%, maybe like that. But then over time, it goes back up, and then that's when the public opinion is what matters the most about the longevity of that set, right? Because if it's like, for example, Evolving Skies will for the rest of this decade, Evolving Skies will be the most sought after set. Doesn't matter what price point at. It can go from 500, 600, 700, $800, guys. People are still going to want to open up Evolving Skies. I think Silver Tempest is in that conversation, that top five conversation, just in my opinion, of Sword and Shield sets that are going to want to be cracked open long term, right? So who knows what the price prediction is for this set in the next 3 4 years? Don't ask me about it. I don't want to put, I don't want to get people's hopes high on stuff like that. I don't do that. That's not what I do. But what I will say is that I think Silver Tempest is a very strong set, and right now it's extremely cheap right now, and no one's talking about it. And I thought I would bring it up to your attention that if you're a Pokemon investor, I think grabbing this set could be something good for your Pokemon portfolio. Maybe, maybe not. I don't see a bottom. I don't see this set going any lower. And if it does, who cares? If it goes to $100, who gives, right? Um, I think that's really rare. That would be extremely, extremely rare for it to go down to $100. But if it does, so be it. But like right now, I think the lowest price right now you can get at right now is at a bargain price at 110. So, or 111. So, anyways, guys, I thought I'd bring this up to your attention and just talk about this. And I think this bear market of Pokemon, we're on the tail end of this bear market, I would say, for Pokemon. And I say that, the future's looking pretty bright right now for Pokemon, and I'm really excited for the future sets going on in 2024. 151 was a killer set. I really like Fit 151. It's definitely, I know the first few sets of Scarlet and Violet were not that, hot. I liked Paldea Evolved. It was pretty good. But for the most part, it wasn't that hot to start off with. But 151 was like the right set at the right time, and 151 is doing very, very, very well. So if they come out with like sets that are similar to 151, and stuff like that, we're gonna have a very strong year in 2024 and 2025 going on in the bull market. So, anyways, guys, if you guys like today's video, give me a sub, give me a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys.